So it's been quite some time since I've caught up with you guys. It's been the longest since I haven't been uploading a video over the past like 5 years almost. It's been like 3 weeks almost now at this point. And if you guys follow me on Instagram or X, you guys know some updates. It's been the World Series of Poker. It's the largest festival of poker tournaments, and every like professional poker player travels into Vegas and grinds every day super hard. And I've been living this very vicious tournament poker grind for the past 6 weeks, and it hasn't been great. I have fired 87 live tournament bullets, and I've been playing for like 10 hours plus a day. And through those 87 bullets, the past 6 weeks of poker, I have $227,400 worth of buy-ins, and I've cashed out for $114,843, which is an incredible loss, averaging over 2 buy-ins per day, busting out pretty much every single time. I don't have any deep runs to show. The whole point of me playing tournament poker is to showcase some deep runs, because that's what you guys love seeing. That's what performs best on YouTube. And I've epically failed. Not only have I lost over $100,000, $112,000 of my own money in tournament buy-ins, I also took a massive bet on myself where I actually, everything I play is 2x the stakes. I thought I was gonna do well this summer, had a lot of confidence in like my mindset and preparation, and thought I could just win because there's just so many tournaments to play. So everything's actually 2x. 5 individual people bought action against me. So, you know, when I play a $1,000 tournament, it's actually a $2,000 tournament in terms of my overall exposure. So realistically, I'm actually down almost $224,000 because everything's 2x. I don't really have much of like a positive update, unfortunately, in terms of my own experience and poker play. Today is officially the last day of the World Series of Poker. It's the final event, and I'm gonna go play it pretty soon. And I wanted to share the overall experience and capture all of this. I mean, I've busted out 87 different times, and I haven't had any significant chances or any chance at all of like tasting victory over the entire experience, which is really painful. And also my very first time I haven't even like made a final table. And it seems like for the past basically almost 2 years now, I've been getting completely like kicked down, bad beats, whatever. You know, I can complain about losing all I want, but the experience has overall been quite negative, and I've like lost some of my sanity throughout this experience, and I haven't really shown a lot of that just because I don't really want to put so much negativity out there on the channel. But I don't have anything positive to report, so I have to report something at some point, break the silence. But here I am sitting at the very last day of the series. At least want to show my experience, and we have one more day, so I can't really give up now, right? So we have one more day, and we gotta get ready. So gonna go to the strip, got one more day left. It's a $1,000 super turbo tournament, and it's starting pretty early in the morning, pretty early in the day. So welcome to a typical day in the life experience. And hopefully, you know, the beautiful thing about tournament poker is that you're gonna lose until you don't lose anymore. And how sweet would it be to just find a way to win the very last one. So I'm trying to hold on to the last bit of hope, and it's not over till it's over, right? So this is my 4th World Series of Poker, my 4th summer grinding tournaments. I think 3rd full summer of me like really grinding hard. And this year I just lose everything. But I want to give a big shout out and highlight some of my friends who completely crushed this summer. Joey Weissman had an insane year this summer. He got 3rd in the Club WPT Gold 1K Prime Buy-in online, and also won the 1 million Sweep Coins free roll that they hosted just a few days ago, and first place was 100,000. So he cashed for 3rd for 180,000, and then gets 1st in another tournament for 100,000, all online too on Club WPT Gold. So it's a pretty sick score to have online and on the site that I work with a lot. So if you want to play some online poker in the US, click the link in the description below, scan the QR code up here, and use code Rampage. Play some online poker from the US It's the only place I'm actually winning on this year. So if I can win, I think you guys can all certainly can win too. And on September 21st, I'm hosting an exclusive 100,000 free roll. So if you want to hop in on that, no real purchase required outside of a $20 gold coin package. If you sign up, purchase the $20 gold coin package, you will be immediately entered and qualified into this 100,000 free roll. So taking place on September 21st, I'll be there and I'll be giving away more money. Shout out to Joey Weissman, insane summer and a lot of really cool online scores. My other buddy, Mike Rizito, had another sick summer. He got second in the 1500 WSOP shootout for 178,000, fourth in the 3K at the win for 58,000, third in a $1,500 WSOP freeze out for 200,000, and then sixth in the BetMGM 3500 main for another 200,000. 4 final tables this summer, a string of consistent cashes, and cashing for over 600,000 at the bare minimum, and a lot of it is profit. That's always really nice to see, so shout out to Mike. And then Michael Wang, oh my God. Yeah, Mike, you're an absolute stud, dude. You've won the $1,600 win for $555,000. which is already an insane score for, especially for a 1,600 buy-in. And then you just decide that's not enough. Let's just win the WSOP 10K PLO bracelet event for 1.4 million. Oh, you're the sickest. And yeah, Mike's the sickest. He plays everything from $600 buy-ins up to, I guess, well, winning 10K PLOs. So that's nearly a $2 million summer, which is incredible to see. And lastly, and certainly not finally, Adam Hendricks. He won a 1K Aria Daily for 77,000, and he just busted out of the main event. Final tabled it in 6th place and cashed for 1.9 million. Had a chance to win $10 million. Lost a flip, jacks to ace king to Mizrachi, who's been sunning it. And at the time I'm actually recording this video, the final table actually hasn't been finished yet. So, but it seems like Mizrachi might just win. But I mean, living the dream, playing like 8 to 9 days in the 10K main event. It makes me feel good that some of my prize pool money went to some of my friends who completely crushed this summer. So I just want to give a big shout out to those 4 guys who had really good years. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to go to the strip. Let's throw some stuff here. One last walk down this musty, dusty old parking lot here at Paris. Okay, we made it. Behind me is the Horseshoe Ballroom, but we're hopping into the 1K Super Turbo, but I've talked about a lot of like negative and bad things that's happened to me this summer. I do want to introduce one very positive and opportunistic development that I've had over the past couple days is that I actually ended up for the first time investing a substantial amount of my money into a brand new poker app called Stack. So think of 18 Birdies for golf or Strava for the running niche. Stack is poker's newest social platform where you can just build a community and post about your poker history, poker journey, and allow people to follow you real time. So I've been posting my entire World Series run of tournaments and losing all on the app here, and I'm going to input my very final tournament here. You can see I'm going on my screen, my analytics for the inputs I've had all summer. The graph's straight to hell, it seems like, and there's a timeline where I've just been updating my tournament runs. So yesterday you have myself busting out of a tournament. So yeah, so it's pretty new to be part of this journey and a whole new project. I'm really grateful for just the opportunities I've had to be able to be part of something new like this. And this app literally launched 3 days ago since I'm recording this video right now. And the fact to have a lot of traction, hundreds and hundreds of people hopping in and making accounts and following myself, following Wolfgang, and yeah, it's just nice to be part of a brand new project. I believe in the team, I believe in the founder and the direction of where this is going, which is all about community building and setting up events and just showcasing your progress and journey throughout poker. So if you want to hop in, click the link down in the description below. You can look up Stack Poker on the App Store as well. But here we go. We're going to start a new live session. New live session. We're going to do WSOP Super Turbo, and we're going to do 1K buy-in and make the session public so everyone can follow real time. And start session. We're gonna hop into this 1K Turbo. If you wanna follow along real-time updates, whether it's tournaments or playing Hustler Casino or any cash games, follow me on Stack. If you have an iPhone, go to the App Store and look it up, or click the link in the description below. Okay, so we ran into some technical difficulties on the very first hand, so time to recreate it with good old napkins. We're up against Pancham and Squirtle. So starting things off, I have 20,000 in my stack. I actually have chips to recreate the 20,000 chips. The blinds are 400. Small blind does not exist. And big blind is 800 here. We're going to raise it up. Oh, you don't even know what I have. It's actually, I look up at an ace and a 10. Beautiful hand. Raise it up to 1,600. This is kind of problematic because Pancham and Squirtle can just see what I got. The colors are kind of bleeding through, but you know what? It's fine because they don't know how to play poker. Pancham makes the call. This is the button player. So we're just going to make the call for 1,600, and Squirtle in the big blind calls as well. Voila. So here we go. We're going to go 3 ways to a flop. We're going to bring the small blind in, and it comes 6, 6, 7 with 2 clubs. You can totally see that these are clubs. Squirtle checks. I check. Pancham checks it back. Here we go to a turn. 10 of hearts. Pretty great card. We've got, let's just double check. We have a 10. We have top pair, top kicker. Squirtle, check. I'm going to put in a bet here at this point. You know, there's like a lot of chips in the middle. I decide to go for a bet of 4,000. What are we going to do? Pancham. Pancham's a station. He's got piles. He makes the call. And Squirtle with a very disciplined fold. Oh, he doesn't even have cards, but good boy, Squirtle. You can see who's clearly my favorite. So, good boy, Squirtle. Saving his chips, making the fold. And here we go, off to a river card, which comes a 5 of hearts. We've got 14.4 thousand, right? We got 14.4 thousand. There's a decent amount in the middle. Pancham's a station. We're going to be all in. Ship it in the middle. What are you going to do? You've got some cards? You gonna call? You gonna fold, buddy? What's your plan? He calls! All right. And I show my hand. Ace 10, Pancham. I actually never end up seeing what he had, and he just goes into the muck and folds. And that's how he wins some chips. So we get a very nice double up to start. Thank you for being a station, Pancham. I hope you liked this reenaction. Let's go back to the actual video. After about 2 hours of play, we've got 2x starting, and right after the break, we pick up pocket jacks with a low jack being all in for 10 big blinds. Button makes the call for 6 big blinds, and of course, I'm in here as well, and we've got pocket jacks up against 4s and jack 10 suited. Chipping up in the very last tournament of this miserable and tough WSOP series, but here we go, finally running good, and we pick up another spot where I got pocket 6s, and there's an undergun raise to 5,000. I make the call in middle position, and the big blind calls. So the flop comes king, queen, deuce, 2 hearts out there. When the big blind checks, undergun player fires out 4,500. I actually don't believe this small sizing here, and I decide to make the call, but the big blind comes along for a call as well. So multi-way, the turn comes the king of clubs. So top pair turns into trips, and when action checks to me, kind of suspicious on how there's no money being put in the middle, but I check this one back to see a river card, which is the 10 of hearts. Now, once again, both of my opponents check it to me, and I'm very suspicious of them ever having a strong hand with how they've played it. So I'm going to bet 20,000, and I get snap folds. Everything is going right for me today. It's one of the few times I get a bluff through. I've been getting called everywhere, but man, today might be the dream spot. Everything's going right.
I'm winning my all-ins. I'm getting my bluffs through. And we pick up ace queen versus ace king in an all-in pot in the next level, 3K big blind. And this is going to be pretty close, but we chop it. Get it in bad, and we're chopping these insane all-ins, guys. Maybe this is actually going to be the one. What a perfect way to end such a tough summer by sun running this entire tournament. I mean, this tournament is all about winning the big pots, winning the all-ins. If I'm going to be chopping ace queen versus ace king when I only have about 30%, I think things are going to go pretty well. So next hand on the button with ace 5 offsuit, I raise it up to 6,000, and the big blind, who's a pretty good professional, makes the call. The flop comes ace 3 deuce, and with top pair, kind of can protect some of my checking range, so I check this one back. Turn 6 of spades brings in a backdoor flush draw, and now at this point, definitely need to put some chips in the middle. My opponent checks to me, and I go for a small size of 5,500, and my opponent comes along for a call. River comes aboard pairing 6, but the front door hearts do get there. Regardless, I still think I want to be on the greedy side and throw it a bet, so my opponent checks. I throw 1,800 in the middle, followed by a snap call, and I end up winning my hand because my opponent does not show his hand. He ends up showing an ace, but how crazy is that? 5 is the lowest kicker you could have here, unless he just has exactly ace 4. And I win this pot somehow with a very thin value bet. So like I said, everything is going my way. The value bets are getting through, bluffs are getting through. I've got 2 times the average chip stack as we're approaching the money. And here we go with the low jack raising to 8,000. The small blind goes all in for about 10 big blinds, and I just peel aces. Yeah, let's go. I just had to make the call trying to induce the low jack. You know, I want him to put some more chips in the middle, whether through a call or a raise. Don't really want to scare him off the pot, but he ends up folding, and we're going to go heads up against pocket sevens. And we're going to win this hand, of course, because everything is going my way. I'll win the 80%er, aces versus sevens. And the next level, things are even more dicey because I'm the one with sevens. And there's only going to open to 10,000. I decided to call in the hijack here. But bad news, the cutoff goes all in for 55,000, which is about 11 big blinds. When the ungun player ends up folding, I can't fold anymore, so it's sevens. We'll stick it in there. And we see some bad news up against pocket queens, but who cares? 7 on the flop, sun running so hard. I mean, come on. With all of these sequence of hands, how can you not believe this is going to be the one? I haven't sun ran at all summer. I haven't won these insane all-ins, and every time I get it in good, it seems like I lose. But this time, I'm getting it in bad with 20% and coming away with all the chips. And here we go. We're 10 players off of the money. We're super close, and in the 6K big blind level, I pick up ace 9 of spades in early position, and I raise it up to 14,000. We get 2 opponents to make the call to my left, which is very surprising. Low jack and +2. Both of these opponents shouldn't really be able to call too wide, and they should be raising a lot pre-flop, so hard to put them on a hand. But when the flop comes ace queen 7, 2 diamonds and a spade, I decided to check this over to my opponent as I should be raising a lot of garbage, and the low jack ends up throwing out 21,000 into the middle, which is pretty small bet overall. I'm going to make the call. I don't really want to check raise just yet because I think everyone is not incentivized to play many hands. We're 10 players off the money, which means we're basically on the bubble with how big this field is. So I make the call. Other opponent folds. The turn is a spade, and this is where things get super dicey. I start off with a check, and my opponent goes in the tank and ends up firing out 43,000, leaving himself 80,000 chips back. And look, I've got top pair. The kicker isn't amazing, but I've got a lot of equity with the turned flush draw. I'm trying to really struggle putting my opponent on a hand here that isn't like king queen, because any ace x or 2 pair in this spot is probably going to be 3-betting me. I don't see my opponent really ever playing this way with ace 10. So kind of suspicious on what's going on. Maybe I took the lazy route, but I announced all in as I do cover my opponent. I'm the chip leader at the table. He snap calls with king 10 of hearts. No, this turn card was absolute disaster, but we still have outs in a spade. We need to win this one, guys. This is the biggest pot of the tournament by far. I will be very close to being the chip leader of this entire tournament if I win, and if I lose, I end up with dust and very few chips behind. I'll have to fold into the money, and the river. So no. all of that time, all of these hands I played consecutively, all the all-ins and all the hope I've mustered up and dreamed of comes collapsing in this failed, missed flush draw. I lose basically close to a chip lead pot nearing the bubble. We are announced, we are in the money. As I said, we're pretty close to making it in the money, so I didn't have to play too many hands, didn't have to fold too often. But what I thought was once going to be an insane opportunity to win this tournament, now I just need to coast, play a short 12 big blind stack. And here we go, trying to maneuver at the 12K big blind level. I got king 8 offsuit on the button, and I raise up 24,000 here. I think my hand is just too weak to be going all in with. And I think I can play some post flop, even though 12 big blinds with a bad king. Anyways, the big blind calls, and we're off to a flop of 10, 5, 3, 2 hearts. Here, probably should just be betting my entire range here, but I decided to check this one back, tried to be fancy of sorts, and when the turn comes to jack, another Broadway card, definitely inclined for me to go out and throw out a bet here. So my opponent checks, I fire 32,000, and my opponent calls. I mean, I was really hoping to not see any resistance, but with the resistance here, we're going to see what happens on the river, which is the ace of diamonds. Naturally, you might think this would be the perfect card to bluff on, and you are correct, as I think about nothing other than putting my entire chips into the middle. I couldn't have asked for a better card to see on the river to follow through with all of my bluffs. So I basically go all in, leaving one chip behind just in case. And my opponent goes into the tank. And I'm praying for a fold, guys. I haven't really bluffed too many times today, but he sticks in a call, and it's just an incredible one. Gotta tip my hat to my opponent making the call off with 6-5 of clubs. That, my friends, is fourth pair and absolutely no belief that I had any strong hand here. So I'm basically out, got like 3 feet out of the door with 1,000 chips in my stack at the 60 big blind mark. I pick up 10-7 offsuit. I decided to go all in for the tournament life, of course, and we actually end up getting action. The two opponents to my left end up playing a rather serious pot, and whenever opponents are putting chips in the middle, it's really hard for me to, I guess, win at all. I'm up against King Jack, top 2 pair. Need to hit a 7 and a 7 only on the river to survive, and we are out. Locking up a min cash. Unfortunate to not have made a deeper run. That really massive pot right before the bubble changed everything. Basically could have been chip leader, could have changed the trajectory of my entire tournament life, but we are out of the final tournament of this summer, at least walking away with some sort of a min cash. And there it goes. We're wrapping up. Look at all these. This ballroom hallway area used to be completely packed with so much poker gear and booths and stuff. Anyways, I just wrapped up, collected the cash of $22.40, and I just tweeted out my fade bet numbers. So ended up losing, oh man, I forget. I think it was like 113,000, 111,000, and then everything is times 2. So I lost 222,000, and I'm gonna go through sending out all of the money that I owe to people immediately and just move on with it. And the bathroom's closed. Fuck. Damn it. I walked all the way to go to the bathroom. Anyways, that's it. If you want to play on some online poker, support the channel. Use code Rampage on Club WPT Gold. You know, that's this one. Or download, stack, and track my live poker updates real time. Link in the description below. That's free for anyone to download and enjoy. Poker's newest social platform. See you guys.